that we all, if you want to be a doctor, definitely you need to college.
Yes.
You to be a
Yeah.
lawyer, any professionals in that trade, I think it's definitely respect that. But if when any type of business, I think mainly it's getting the experience.
That's what I told my
Getting
daughter. And he
experience.
was like, "Hey, listen," I was like, "If you want to go, if you get a scholarship, that's one thing, but there's no reason to take on a bunch of debt unless you're going to go into something that is going to, require like nursing or being a
Right.
doctor or something that's going to require the education. If you're going for
Started
like,
in the mud, now we moving heavy. Lift the dually, pulling weight, let's go. Arborist marketing pros in the building. Grow mode active. Started with a saw and a half dead.
what is going on? And welcome back to another episode of the Branching Out podcast. On this podcast, we talk about all things on how to grow your tree service business. Today is we got a special guest on. I'm pretty excited about. We got my friend Neft from Maldonado Brothers and out in California. Neft is they've been in business in the industry for over 20 years. I've been looking at your story, and what stood out to me wasn't just like the size of the company, but the fact that it started as a family business and has grown into like one of the most recognized tree service brands in your market. That's cool. So, Neff, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. I appreciate, man, your time. And definitely, man, we're here to help out, support. And I'm excited to go through this podcast. Actually, this is my first podcast ever. So I'm a little bit nervous.
Nice.
We'll get to it. All right.
I love it. Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm glad I could be your first. I feel honored.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you,
for
man.
for for people who may not know who you are, just give us the quick version of, what you do and what the Maldonado Brothers company does.
So it's me and my brother Israel. So my name's Neftali. My brother's name is Israel. He's not here with us today. Of course, he's out there. He's keeping an eye on the guys supervising and handling business, right? But it's both of us. We come from a big family. Nine of us. Actually 10 of us, three girls and seven boys.
Three
And
girls and hold on, three
yeah,
girls and seven
yep,
boys.
siblings, correct.
I'm sure
And
that was really quiet growing up. It was a quiet
yo,
home.
you can imagine. So, but it's been it's beautiful, man. The family dynamic, it's incredible. We all have the same Israel and myself, we started Maldonado Brothers back in 2010. So Israel started on his own in 95 and I started in '01.
Oh,
So we
wow.
started doing this lawn care provider, a service here in the Fresno Central Valley. And then since then, of course, when you join the lawn care business side, I grew up with it. So all my brothers already had the business. So everybody kind of had their own crew, their own routes. And so I learned from every one of them, man. So I give props to my pops. He's the one who started back in the '70s, '80s, and brought all of us into the same trade.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's crazy because I used to hate the lawn service. Like it wasn't, here. I don't know if you ever been to Fresno, man. Central Valley is really, it gets really hot out here.
Hey, sorry to interrupt your podcast for a second, but if you own a tree service company, I want to invite you to a free live webinar that I'm hosting. It's called The New AI Ranking Formula. Basically, homeowners are starting to use ChatGPT, Google AI, and other AI tools to find local service providers. And so my question is simple. When they ask for a tree service company in your area, does AI know who you are? In this webinar, I'm going to show you exactly what's changing, how AI rankings work, and what tree service owners can do right now to stay visible online. It's absolutely free. Just go to go.arboristmarketingpros.com/AI rankings webinar. The link will be in the description. Now let's get back to the show. I
So
can
you can
imagine.
imagine right after school, they'll pick me up, they'll take me to work. So back in the days, there was no breaks, like we had to work, man. We come from a Oaxacan family, back in
Mhm.
Mexico, was born in Mexico, my whole family. And my dad brought us
Nice.
here they brought me here in '85, '86. That's how we started and finished high school. But I mean, I would say, unfortunately, man, we were blessed with the business. Um, not how do you say it? We started from scratch because every brother had their own business.
Yeah.
So my pops kind of pushed us to get our own. So you had to earn it. You weren't given, like,
Mm,
nothing was for free, right? So
yeah.
I'm grateful for that because that's how I think it's part of the learning experience and getting experience to where we at today.
There's something about, dude, like, there's something about the struggle and like having to build something for yourself that makes you not just appreciate it more, but it helps us to be a little bit more successful, I think, because,
Right.
when you have to earn every single dollar yourself, it just changes the game.
Yeah.
Um, so Pops has been in the industry since the 70s. Was that only lawn care, or were you guys doing tree work there too, or just what?
So he was in the agriculture. He was bracero, I believe. I don't know if you heard of
Okay.
that before. So they used
No.
to used to come and farm. They used to come, every year come and farm, work for a season, farming, cropping. The
Oh,
trees, the
yeah, yeah.
day cigs. I don't know what was it. You know, and so he'll head back to Mexico, and then so every year he'll come in. And then my older brothers started. He started bringing my older brothers, and they all started coming. And finally, in the '70s, '80s, he started. My older brothers, they stood here. So they got the
Mhm.
opportunity to get into the business and the agriculture, and then from then they got connected with somehow in the lawn service landscape. So that's how everything started with my pops. And finally in 80, I was born in 80. So they brought me at 85 or 86. We were here. They brought us, all of us here. So that's where everything started, man. Yeah, school and finished high school. They didn't get to college, man. Cause like I said, I got married a little bit young and, had at a young age, had our kids. And so, you know, I took the business route.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I too did not go to college, but it wasn't because I was prioritizing something cool like a family and kids. I was making terrible decisions with my life. It's a miracle I graduated high school. So to be where we are today is pretty fucking
Right.
cool.
And you know what? Look, nothing against college. I think it's great. I respect that. But I think in order to be in a successful business or even start a business, it does help. But in reality, I think you need more of the experience. Because
Yeah,
once you're right off of college, I mean, you do have a degree or you do get a master's. Definitely, you're kind of not guaranteed, but you have more of a chance to get wherever you're going for, right? But in
right.
the business, I think if you get to experience more, I mean, I know a lot of friends and families and people that hasn't had that or were dropouts or didn't get that college experience, and man, they're successful companies.
Yep.
They
No,
come
none
in.
of I've never had a sales call with a potential client where they've been like, "Hey, what college did you go to?" They don't care. Like
Exactly. So
so
so nothing against it, right? Nothing
no,
against it.
100%,
But
100%.
but I think just the fact that we all, if you want to be a doctor, definitely you need to college.
Yes.
You to be a
Yeah.
lawyer, any professionals in that trade, I think it's definitely respect that. But if when any type of business, I think mainly it's getting the experience.
That's what I told my
Getting the
daughter, and he
experience.
was like, "Hey, listen," I was like, if you get a scholarship, that's one thing, but there's no reason to take on a bunch of debt unless you're gonna go into something that is gonna, require like nursing or being a
Right.
doctor or something that's gonna require the education. If you're going for like, you know, arts or like
Yeah.
business, like just go start a
Yeah.
business.
Right.
Like,
And you know what? Also, I have a daughter. She's actually we have family in the business, so I let them know, look, if you're gonna go to college, great, but get more of the like business administration.
yeah,
Get into accounting. Something that you're gonna use for the eventually you're gonna know understand when you have the business going, or if you guys ever take over, you have that background,
yep.
understanding. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and financial literacy, right? Like we're not
Oh,
taught
definitely,
that in school.
definitely.
Yeah, so you're just to circle back, you've got every other one of the brothers has a different business going on. You're all doing lawn service. How did we get from that to you and one of the other brothers linking up, you and
Israel,
Israel linking up?
yes.
Yeah, how did we get there?
So, long story short, all my brothers started first. They all were doing landscape and lawn care, tree service also. So I would go help them out. It ain't that I wanted to, I had to, right?
Yeah.
There was no breaks. I'm telling you. So after school, I had to go to work. Somehow, some way, I had to spend time. I'm working. In order to contribute to the family, right? You know how that is. So 1995, he decides to go start his own route on the lawn care and landscape, and yeah, he was doing it for he did it for until 2010, right? So I was trying to be a police officer because I'm telling you, I didn't want to do anything part of the business, right? The pay wasn't good, like
Hmm.
working for free and all that, the family
Yeah,
dynamics.
especially not the family businesses don't pay family very well.
Yeah, so I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure everybody who's gonna listen to this podcast probably relate to that. But
Hmm.
so once he kind of had the business running, he kind of teach me. He's like, hey, bro, look, there's money in this business, man. And I was like, oh man, don't tell me that because that's the last thing I want to do. And he was like, well, I want you to check it out. So this is back when I got married young at 20 years old, and had my son at 21. So, I didn't have no choice. And I was
Right.
actually going to start going to the academy, the police academy. And so, my wife ends up being pregnant and I was like, oh man, now I could have, but I just didn't put the time into it. Right.
Right.
But long story short, we started the business back in 2001. My wife kind of pushed me to it too. She was like, look, your brothers are doing good. They bought their house and, they have a nice truck and they got, a team running around. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So my wife kind of convinced me into it. My brother did too. They pushed me to it. And yeah, everything started in '01. And Israel was the one that was always there, like helping me out, pushing me in, like, hey, bro, you got to do this. We always been really tight since we're the two youngest. So we've been really close since we were small. We're like
Okay.
4 years
Yeah.
apart. And that's how everything started. And finally in 2010, that's when, we decided to collab and just make it one. And that's when everything just got to the next level and we started pushing it. We didn't get our contractor license until 2016.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
actually he bought one of our brothers out. He was getting ready to retire. So we bought him out. And then
Oh, that's super cool.
we bought another company. We bought him out in 2016. And then we bought another company, Streamline, that I remember. We bought him out, a buddy of mine, we bought him out in 2016 also. So that's how we kind of started pushing, you know, the
Yeah.
lands. We were already doing landscape and tree service, but kind of low key, just for our clients. Because
Hmm.
we didn't have the license then, but
Right.
we started getting big contracts and we're like, okay, you know what? We need it now because, workman comp, insurance purpose.
Yep.
We don't want to get in trouble. And I don't know how the laws are there in Florida, but California, man,
California is strict.
it's
Yeah.
crazy
I've
strict,
got
bro.
I've got one client there and it's like it's
It's
wild.
Yeah, I never like to talk down, man. I love California. That's why I'm here.
I'll tell you the downside to Florida, because Florida is just like they don't care, but the downside is it doesn't take anything to start a tree service business. If you've got a chainsaw and a vehicle, you've got a tree service business. And so it ends up there's a
Wow.
lot of price compression. So,
Yes.
guys, well, they'll go out and bid a job at $2,500. Some dude that just needs beer money and has a chainsaw will come around and it's, a
Uh,
$500. And so because there's not any regulation, it makes it really difficult. You
on the
still need like
market.
ISA certification if you need like an arborist letter or something like that.
Right.
But just to go do tree work, you don't have to be a contractor.
Wow.
Just,
Hey,
just go do
I
it.
mean, it's good for the new come up. If you're barely starting, it's great for that because we were there at once. But it makes it tough for the big companies that already, you know, paying the workman comp,
Hmm.
paying the payroll taxes, the insurances and all that. It's hard
Yeah.
to compete with a company that has a big overhead, and then a one man team, like only two
Right.
guys, three guys. So it's hard to compete to that market. So that's
Yeah.
where the downfall it is, and I totally get it. California, like they're really tough on the commercial. On the residential, you'll have fuel here and there, that because that's how we did it. That's how we started,
Yeah.
right? So I don't got nothing against that. I respect it because every small business owner that starts, I mean, that's their dream, like they want to get to where the gold mine is at.
Hmm.
So we respect that and we understand that now that we're a little bit more in the higher end of it with more employees. We're like, oh shoot, now this is not convenient for us now,
Right.
you know.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Right. But now
Yeah.
we totally get it. We understand. And right now, because of all the economy right now, where it's a little bit of struggle, the market has kind of come, like you said, the compression has gone down,
Hmm.
but it's okay. That's where it kind of hurts everybody. But in
Yeah.
the long run, the companies that kind of have the structure set up and the right finance and everything, um, pretty much you're gonna last, but the smaller companies, the one probably,
That are
I
hurting.
got a few
Yeah.
buddies, I mean, not in the same industry, but in the restaurant, they're closing down right now because of
Yeah.
the economy right now, or,
Yeah.
everything that's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where when you're a larger company, it makes it not easier, but you have a little bit more flexibility, right? Because you
Mm,
generally have a little bit more revenue. You can pull back from different places. But if you're small and you're like paycheck to paycheck, but in a business sense, you don't have the runway for that to happen. This is awesome. Now, obviously, something happened where
yeah.
you guys sort of exploded. We're talking about like buying, making acquisitions and buying companies out and things like that, which is cool. So, what do you think allowed you to grow when a lot of the companies that I even talk to seem to get stuck at a certain revenue number? Talk to me through like what the growth looked like?
You know what? It happened so like fast that we were like, wait, how did we get from here to here, right? But you kind of sit down and kind of, reflects and think. I think most of it was just going for it, man. Like if you get the opportunity, take advantage. You know,
Mm,
when my brother was like, "Hey, I'm gonna sell my route," we were like, I didn't think about it. I knew there was money there. There was like the business was good. So okay, let's sit down and talk business. Same thing when we also actually the other company, uh, I knew him, but for some reason he put it out in Craigslist, and that's how I got a hold of him. I knew him
okay.
because I knew who he was. He wasn't a big company. He was on like a four-man crew, but
Yeah.
he had about a lot of commercial maintenance. So
Hmm.
because we started with the maintenance, remember residential maintenance,
Right.
and
Right.
then we slowly started getting more commercial maintenance, right? And from the residential, we were already doing tree service to our clients, so we started getting more, recommendations to with the same residential clients. So, and then from there we jumped into the commercial, and so actually those companies were actually my brother's. His was mostly commercial, you
Okay,
know,
no kidding.
and then my the other company, same thing, was mostly commercial, just a few residentials. And since my brother, we were already kind of, we had our partnership already with them, so we pretty much bought him out,
Yeah.
you know. So that's how that got in. And the crazy thing is that everything happened in that year. So we were kind of like, oh man, we don't have all the money to invest here, but we sat down and we talked, we figured out the numbers and we kind of did it like in a 1 or 2 years, you know
Okay.
and that's how we got to it. And from there, I mean, I'm telling you, like everything just started opening doors. The big door opening was getting the contractor license.
Yeah.
That was huge. That was huge. So once that came in, we had a lot of commercial properties that they were requesting that. So once we got our contractor license, we already had contracts just waiting for us to get
Oh,
the
that's
license
amazing.
and the right insurance so we could push. And yes, I'm telling you, it's 2016. It's 10 years now that we you know got the license
Yeah.
officially contractors. But we've been in the industry since, I could say 95 because of my brothers, but if I want to bring it to my dad's, to the first generation, right?
Right.
That's back in the 70s. That's what,
70s.
30, 40 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we don't like
I'd have
that
that on the
because
website.
they tell me to do that, but I think, of course we owe everything to my father and my brothers, the older ones. But I like to kind of have our own legacy,
Yeah. Yeah.
like because I wasn't even born yet, it's not gonna make sense
Right. I mean,
if
listen, dude, I'm a marketer, right? I'm always trying to make something sound better than it is.
'cause when they find out, I don't want to basically get the credits from my pops or my brothers,
Yeah.
So I kind of bring it back to 95 since Israel started.
Makes
Israel,
sense.
myself in '01, and basically, but of course we owe it all to the first generation, my pops,
Yeah.
my brothers. They're the main big boys, man, that put the work in and kind of teach us. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here, man.
Right.
So they teach us the trade. They pushed us, and look, man, sky's the limit.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume that you're not in the field much today. So tell me about what was the hardest transition? Was it from like being, the worker to the crew leader? Was it crew leader to manager, or really taking like this ownership approach? What was the hardest for you?
Think setting up a good structure of the actual team.
Mm.
So in order for you to step out, you gotta replace yourself with somebody, right? And it's just structuring that team, that that foundation.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love being out there with the clients. Believe it or not, I still do sales.
Do you?
I,
That's awesome.
yeah, I love it. The networking, the sales, coming in the office. We have 6 girls in the office that run the office. We still overlook everything. Me and my brother, he's more of an outfield guy. I kind of
Mhm.
run more of the office. But I love being out there. I love, like, I need to be out there doing sales. That's my thing. Like, I like to be meeting people, new people. At least at one point when we were growing, I was doing about 15, 20 estimates daily.
Wow, dude.
Daily, brother.
Where do
Yeah.
you get in the how yeah, how are you getting those
Uh, we're
estimates?
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get
Okay.
there.
That's wild.
Yeah. So
So
so no, and that was just myself plus my brother. He was doing like 10 or 12 or 15.
that's
So
crazy.
yeah. So basically, Israel runs the landscape division, and I run the tree division, right? And so we help each other out. We kind of, you know cross train, and we have the girls that run, the coordinators that run the landscape, the coordinators that run the tree service, general manager, superintendent, supervisor. So you structure a foundation for the company where if anything goes wrong, you have a team to back you up.
Yeah.
And the follow ups, making sure we're doing the right thing. And I haven't mentioned, and John Trember, he's one of our business advisor.
Oh, no
He's one.
kidding.
He's been with us. He's going on 3 years, I think. And honestly, he's one of the guys that kind of put us on game. Like,
Yeah.
he told us, when he came in, we're talking about 3 years ago. What is it, 2023? We still had quite a bit of a mess here and there, and we were still learning, and from our own mistakes.
Mhm.
And he came in and he was like, he ran over uh 49 years a company here in Fresno, and he had over 200 employees.
Oh,
So
wow.
he retired, and God, yes, he was like an angel for us, man, because he came in the company and kind of put the structure and told us, hey, you guys are doing good, but you could do better. So let's
Yeah.
go ahead, and he helped us out to today where we're at. So I gotta give it up to John Trember, man. He's
Yeah.
helped us a lot in general in the office, even though it was a different business that he ran. But realistic, the inside of it is
Business, that's what I've come to figure out is that business is
right,
basically
right.
business. It's
And,
like doesn't matter what we sell. It's
but going back to your question, I think the hardest part is when you have to put somebody else and let them run it.
yeah.
'Cause you're like, no, wait, this is because you want to do it your way all the time,
Yeah.
and it can't be like that. You have to train them and just let them make the mistakes. You know, that's the
That's
hard.
been yeah, that's been one of the hardest things for us is that, we don't get better until we make mistakes. But once we figured out, for example, I know how to get a website live, right? That was when we were a small agency. We were building our own, I was building websites, we were getting them launched. And so we bring in people to start building the websites and getting them launched, and they start having the same issues that I was having early on. And so I want to step in and fix it, but I can't because I
Yeah.
need them to learn. And I think that gets a lot of people caught up and they don't know how to break free of that. Did you have any like specific ones that you just really wanted to hold on to that you had to let go of?
Ah, I think the estimates. I
Yeah.
think that are the ones that because we were close. Me and my brother. I don't know. We're not experts. We're supposed to be experts, right? But I still don't consider myself. I remember I was telling you, I always consider like there's a lot to learn.
Hmm.
Even though we've been over 25, 26 years in the business myself, I still have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
I always learn especially in the new era. You know, right now with the digital, with everything, the AI. You name it, there's so much. The girls probably know a lot more in the office than what I know, right? Because they're there every day. They're over every day, on their job, their task. So, but I think it's just the estimating that I can't let go still because I'm still doing it here and there. I'll do probably 3 to 5 estimates daily, and I tell them because I can't just be here in my office all day. I can't. Like, even though, I'll come in, check the numbers out, making sure, the coordination is going well, follow ups, talking to clients, networking. But I love it when right now I just came back from a landscape estimate,
Oh, that's awesome.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you're in
so
it.
yeah, so I'm like, look, let me go ahead and take care of that. When we're booked out, so me and my brother will step in and we'll help out to
That's
get to
cool.
get those contracts. And believe it or not, since it's a family, we got our sons.
Oh, that's
They're
awesome.
they're they're taking over. The estimating, the stuff that we used to do. So it's a good how do you say it? There's still a lot that we could teach them, and we see that they might be doing differently. But you know what? A lot of the times it works out for them.
Yeah.
So we got to let them, make those mistakes and just keep growing. You know.
Yep. Yep. How intentional? Because I know, obviously your reputation is amazing. Your customers love you. How how intentional have you been about creating customer experience, or has it just been, hey, we've always just done kind of good work, and people will show up and give us reviews, or have you had to chase reviews? What does that look like?
So on that point, I think we at one point we were struggling because we didn't have the right team, right? So if you go back on our reviews right now, I think we're over 500 reviews.
Hmm.
We're 4.9. So at one point we were making a lot of mistakes because we didn't have remember, it was almost like a one man team. So
Yeah.
we only have her in the office and it was too much for her. I was trying to do it all because, remember the old school is you do it yourself and you do it all, right? Because you
Hmm.
want to make sure everything gets done right. But at one point, remember I'm telling you that we had like about 15, 20 estimates just myself. So imagine just back to back, every 30 minutes, I was doing, and this was the trees because we started landscape. And then in 2016, that's when we literally start pushing the trees industry, 2016. And so, man, on the trees, we were swamped. I mean, especially COVID. Remember COVID?
Yeah.
COVID, we that was our like we hit good numbers there. So it was just I think just on the talking to the client, delivering and making sure we follow up.
Hmm.
So you have to put a system where you go do the estimate, you turn in the estimate right away, make sure you're early to your appointment because I'm always late. I'm always running late to my appointment. But as long as you're sincere and let them know, like, look, I'm just running late. I'm sorry. There's no excuses. They understand that.
Yeah.
Because we want to respect everybody's time, and I do. But it is for some reason I'm always running. 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes late on my schedule, which no excuse is
Yeah.
just the Mexican Oaxacan tradition.
Yeah. 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 Well, I
I
must
put it that.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm I'm adopted apparently, but
yeah,
I
right.
must be. I don't know. I must be. I might have a little bit of that in me too. We'll
Mexican
see.
theme, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so but you know what? It's a blessing, man. I think we have a lot of good people here in California, man. I can't complain. Everybody understands. Everybody, even though right now we're going through a little bit of a crisis, whatever is going on, but we still have a good clients. We have a really good client base and a data that they call us back, and
Yeah.
we do a lot of marketing, advertising that also helps out. To to keep the guys going, to keep the crews, in business. So
Hmm.
it's just following up, comparing apples to apples, because a lot of them they do get a few other quotes, and
Hmm.
I'm always up. I'm not trying to always be the cheapest, but we're always trying to make sure we're still providing that quality, even
Right.
though the compression goes down, but we're still putting that quality, even
Hmm.
though maybe sometimes we're not making the money, but I still want to make it right, you
Right.
know. And there's been
Yeah.
times where we might not make money or we might lose money, but I, I, I do what it needs to be done, man.
Yeah.
And I
That's
think
probably that's
integrity,
part of it.
yeah, integrity, just delivering, that's what gives us where we at, and the reputation keeps growing, keeps growing,
100%.
and we're blessed, man. I mean, we're not perfect. You might find a few here and there reviews that, I mean, we were behind schedule, or like I said, we were swamped. We couldn't get to it, and or our we have a new climber that we're training, and maybe did a little mistake here and there. It's common. It's normal. We're human beings,
Yeah.
right? Nobody's perfect. So, but the reputation
But
definitely.
I think it's how you recover from that, right? Like if we make a mistake and we own it, that goes over so much better than like making
Mhm.
a mistake and trying to blame somebody else for the
No,
well, if yeah, we take ownership of it and people
that's key
appreciate
right
that.
there. That's
Yeah.
key. That's key because I mean, we ran into a few mistakes, and we go back and we cover it, man. We come back
Mhm.
and we make sure that client gets 100% happy, even though there was a mistake or there was an issue or anything. We go
Yeah.
back and we fix that, and we make it to what they're happy.
Yeah.
Make it
Any
happen.
tree company
So,
any tree company that says they've never, destroyed a fence is either lying or
oh,
they ain't they ain't done no tree work
when
yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
we trust me. Like just yesterday we had a broken picket.
Yeah.
So we
Uh-huh.
repair it.
It
We repair
happens.
like anything, a broken picket and a broken I forgot what it was, uh, a pot,
Mhm.
and it was an old pot, but I mean, we had to go and replace it. We call the client and be like, "Hey, this is broken pot. Before you get to it, we're looking for it already. I think we already found. I think said we already found it. Basically, solve the solution,
Solve the
like
problem. Yeah.
the problem before they even get to it.
Right. Yeah,
So
because if they have to point it out to us, then it feels like we weren't paying
yeah,
attention, but if we're like, "Hey, listen."
yeah,
That's
unless if our team didn't see it or didn't notice, then
right.
we'll go that
Right.
route. But other than that, we have a really great team where everything gets dialed in, and we take pictures on everything. So we have group chats on
Yeah.
Teams. We every crew reports every hour. You know,
Oh, that's awesome.
everything gets reported. So any before we start the job and after we finish, to making
Yeah.
sure.
Now, people that are listening to this podcast would be really mad at me if I don't go back and ask you this question because we talked a little bit about marketing and you were saying I was doing 15 estimates a day. My brother was doing 12. So, what are you seeing is working best for generating new customers? And how do you get to the place where you're doing 15 estimates in a day?
Okay, so we did it all, right? I don't know if I could say any names or anything here, but
I don't
but
care.
a lot of companies, NG List, Yelp,
Mhm.
we've been through all of them. I mean, you know all of them, and honestly, I mean everybody, every company, my respects, but it doesn't. Sometimes it might fit to other companies, and so nothing about bad about them. Is just when I got the results, I was surprised compared to the rest, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I'm gonna bring it out there. So it's direct mail.
Yeah.
Direct mail is what is killing it, man.
Mhm.
It's killing it. That's what brought us to where we at. Of course, Google, Yelp. I mean, we did a lot of the other ones, but the big percentage came from direct mail.
That's
And,
incredible. And are you
and
managing that yourself or are you using a company to do that for you?
yeah, so we have a company that's doing it for us,
Cool.
and I mean that's we they brought us to where we at right now. I mean, of course, with the rest, because we also do Google, you
Hmm.
know, Yelp, you name it, but just a little portion of it. So everything kind of falls into place,
Yep.
and but that's the biggest percentage that we get.
I'm a big fan of I'm a like people are like, "Oh, you're a digital marketer." I'm like, "Yes, that's what our agency does is Google and Facebook and all that stuff." But I I don't care if it's a billboard on the side of the road. If the numbers make sense, right? If my return on my investment is better on one specific channel than another, let's put as much of our chips into that bucket as possible because that's just going to make us more profitable, right? Like,
That's key, man. I
mhm,
think we also do I also have AI, the
yeah,
AI system. So
hmm,
we so after hours the AI answers all the calls, they schedule and everything. So we also have somebody that kind of runs that. We have that on place already. We've been running it for like about a year,
yeah,
and it's great, man. You don't know how many business we miss, and it pays for itself. So
yep.
it makes sense,
And it's so
so
and I was actually just recording an episode about ways that you can incorporate AI into your tree service business. That's one of them. And one of the points that I was making is that we're so used to getting customers by like we had to buy this lead from so and so, but by incorporating something like AI voice answering, you already paid for that. You already paid
right,
for that lead, right? So
right.
so it's not like it's costing you anything extra aside from the cost of the platform, whatever you're using to answer the call, but you're really just boosting up your conversion rate of all the marketing dollars that are going out anyway. And so it's huge. And we're seeing it on our side too, because we deploy that for some clients. And, you know, I don't know if this is an industry thing, but apparently we miss a lot of phone calls in this industry, and we ask for a
Yeah.
lot of people to leave voicemails. And so AI kills all that.
Yeah, AI, man. Because we also, I don't know if you've been through our website. So also on the website too, AI takes care of it. You know, all they do is go in and it automatically puts it on um our schedule.
Oh,
So
that's
all the
awesome.
girls,
Yep.
yeah, all the girls do, they come back, they just confirm the appointment, and boom, it's there. It's really nice, man. I highly recommend it. You know, to anybody who listens to this podcast. And if they have any questions, man, I mean, feel free, you know, call you, let us know. We're willing to help, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Let me yeah, I know we're getting close on time. Before we do this, are you a big reader?
more of a
Like
audiobook.
podcasts? Okay,
Yeah,
audiobooks?
yeah.
All right.
So I
So
I download the books on that on my phone and I listen to them, man.
all right. So I want to try something new on this podcast. I've never done it before. So you're gonna be my first attempt. All right.
Let's
So
do it. Let's do it.
if it sucks, I'm just gonna cut it out. But if you hear this, then that means we thought it was good. So I want to do rapid fire round. I'm gonna ask you questions. I got like 10 or 7 questions I'm gonna ask you, and you're gonna give me the first answer that comes to your mind.
Okay,
All right,
yeah,
ready?
let's go.
All right. What's one business book that everybody should read?
One business book, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Love it. Biggest mistake that you've ever made?
Biggest mistake that I ever made is probably not taking action first opportunity.
Mm. Yep.
Right. So any opportunity comes in, do it.
Yep.
Don't be
Best
scared.
investment you've ever made?
Best investment is in yourself.
Mm.
Myself.
Okay, gangster. Most important habit?
Most important habit. I think I got a lot of bad habits, man.
Well, what about
What-
good habits? What's your most important good habit?
Oh man, my most important habit, I think, I always keeping God first, man.
Okay, love
Like
it.
I think just waking up and just being grateful. That's it.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's a habit,
I mean,
but
yeah, yeah.
you know,
Uh,
I want to make it seem as a good habit for me.
that's it. What about the
Right.
the biggest opportunity in our industry right now?
The biggest opportunity. Oh man, I think to me it was having our business advisor come in the company.
Yep,
I think, of course, in general, man, like I don't want to, you know, like I said, my wife, my family, you know, but for the business industry, I think you want to have a business advisor to
yep.
be a to kind of guide you in, you
Mhm.
know, because
We
we made a lot of mistakes, right? And when you get somebody that kind of knows the business, not just the trade, the industry, but the business in general, you're gonna make less mistakes,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
Because
it's like
some,
you're buying time,
yeah,
like
yes, something small could affect you in the long run. You know,
Mhm.
we don't realize that. So I probably the biggest that what I recommend is get a business advisor, and they'll be able to guide you the right way to structure your company the way
Yeah.
it's supposed to.
Last question. If you lost everything tomorrow, what's the first thing you'd do?
Um, I'll be grateful and thankful with God.
Okay. I love it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
love it.
as long as you're alive, man, and you got your family, your kids are good, you could come back. You could, you know, rebound
Yep,
from it.
100%. And to your point earlier, once you sort of know the game, a lot of the time is wasted not knowing what we're doing and having to figure it
Right,
out the hard way. And that's why, like, we have a business coach as well that has a digital marketing agency that's doing way more than we are. And
right.
he can just tell us, well, listen, I tried this, it doesn't work, do it this way instead. And so instead of us having to go spend 6, 8 months trying to make something work,
Yeah,
I can just listen to the guy
yeah.
that spent the 6 to 8 months and avoid that
Right,
time period. So it's like fast tracking the business. It's great.
correct. And always be open minded to learn.
Mm,
You know, like
yep.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of things I'm learning from the new era. You know, the youngsters, man.
Mhm.
Like they come in and they give us ideas, and I'm like, let's go, let's try it out. Why not?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so let's not keep our ego. Let's always keep, you know, let's. I mean, even though we might have the experience, but in this era, there's always new comings. You know,
Yep.
new ways.
I'm glad
to
that you tied that together to ego, because I personally also believe that like our ego is what prevents us from being open-minded. Like I want to,
yep.
it's my way or the highway. Like I know what I'm doing. I'm the best. Like you're not going to grow a very large
No,
business that way. It's just,
correct, man. So
yeah,
that's a lot of our I consider myself old school,
yeah,
because
yeah.
sometimes our ego kind of, no, that ain't the way you do it. You got to do it
Right.
this way, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so no, I always think open minded and be like, okay, let's try it out. Let's
Yeah.
give it a shot. Let's see what it comes back. And you'll be surprised, man. It actually works out better, being efficient,
Yeah.
whatever.
And
So
even if it's only 10%, right? Like even if you're right 9 times out of 10, that means that every once in a while something comes through that's better than the way that I thought it was going to be. But I don't get that
yep,
at bat if I don't try.
right.
Um, what is if a homeowner or somebody stumbled across you and they want to get in touch with Maldonado Brothers, how can they find you? Website, phone number, email, what's best?
MaldonadoBrothers.com. We're at, I think, MB at TikTok, MB Tree Service and TikTok, Maldonado.brothers in Instagram, and 559-994-7746. That's the main line. We have so many phones out there because we run the,
Hmm.
every advertising, we put different phone numbers. So
Tracking numbers.
sometimes
Yep.
that kind of messes up a little bit with Google, and but that's the only way how we're gonna check our or ROI. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's the number one complaint our clients give
Yep,
to us is, I wish I didn't
yep.
have all these numbers. I'm like, dude, I can't give you ROI unless I have a tracking number. I'm sorry.
Exactly. I know, and I understand that. Before I didn't. Now it's like, okay, so every advertising we do, it's it definitely, we have to know what's the ROI on it, and we're learning.
Yeah,
Like, we're still learning, man. We got a lot to learn, and I'm grateful, man, where we at, and what's coming, and this is just the beginning. Like I always tell my team, hey, this is just the beginning. Let's get it going. What's next?
yeah.
Excited.
I love it.
So
I love it.
stay positive, right?
That's a great piece to end on. Stay positive. Nev, listen, this was truly a delight. I appreciate you taking the time to jump on here, and share your findings and your wisdom with the people that are listening to the podcast. So if you found some value in this episode, go ahead and like it, comment it. If you happen to be a homeowner that randomly just stumbled on this podcast and you're in Nest areas, and go ahead and hit them up for some work done.
Yeah, for any tree service and landscapes. I
That's
appreciate you,
it.
your time. Definitely, I would love to do another one later on whenever you're ready. And my pleasure, man.
Oh,
Thanks
there will
again.
be a part. There's definitely going to be a part two. I love it.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Till next time.
Thank you.
Started in the mud, now we moving heavy. Lift the dually, pulling weight, let's go. Arborist marketing pros in the building. Grow mode active. Started with a saw and a half.